When you say I don't believe in a God,
fair enough, yeah.
no.
Fine.
When you say I don't believe in a God, so basically your belief is based on what? What is it based on?
Nothing really. It's more...
So it's a belief which is baseless, based not on anything.
Okay, yeah, you could argue that, yeah.
No, I don't want to enforce my view on it. This is what you're telling us. You have taken a position of a belief which is based on nothing. It hasn't got any basis, not even science.
أبدا لن نحيد عن خطى الإيمان دربنا درب قويم دربنا درب قويم بالهدى القرآني.
What's that?
Brother Mansur, they'll walk off with it accidentally. What's a lot of money?
Sorry, sir, when you say they're Muslims, you're not Muslims anymore?
Nah, don't follow.
Yeah, so
How did you manage to do that?
Turn away from it. I don't believe religion is the answer. I think it holds society back.
It's not about society, but it's a matter of reality. If the reality is there is a creator,
But that's what you believe. I don't believe
no.
there is a creator.
If the reality is, then of course it's not a question about something holding society back, is it?
You believe that there's someone there. I don't believe that.
How did you come to the belief there isn't anyone who created this universe?
Science.
Well, I study science too,
Yeah.
so how come I didn't come to your conclusion? So there must be something that you have which is more profound, must be something extraordinary that you have come from science.
To ignore things that are...
No. So share with us, I mean, how does science prove or disprove God?
It doesn't. But you guys use like, you know, you
No,
say
forget we guys, forget Muslims, forget the creationists, forget the theists. Your position is not a reaction to the theists, is it? Your position will be independently achievable position where you think this is the reality, right?
Yeah.
Right. So from your investigation from science, how did you come to the conclusion that there is no creator of this cosmos?
I haven't. I just think that there is no creator. That's just something...
Remember, when you use science to back up a certain position, it's not even your thinking and your opinion, because I have an opinion too, that we are a creation of God. So battle against true opinion doesn't count anything when it comes to reality.
It's not about the position to back, it's about the evidence lack thereof to prove a claim.
But that's what we're trying to understand. What is your evidence base to come to the conclusion?
The evidence is that there is no evidence. The evidence lack thereof for the claim being made.
lack of evidence of...
The lack of evidence doesn't mean it's evidence, is it? What kind of philosophical axiom is this? Lack of evidence means evidence of absence?
No, it means that there's a lack of evidence.
So lack of evidence can only make you agnostic about something. It cannot make you an atheist.
Yeah, every atheist is an agnostic. Yeah.
So when you say I don't believe in a God,
Fair enough, yeah.
no.
Fine.
When you say I don't believe in a God,
I don't believe
so basically your belief is based on what? What is it based on?
Nothing really. It's more...
So it's a belief which is baseless, based not on anything.
Okay, yeah, you could argue that, yeah.
No, I don't want to enforce my view on it. This is what you're telling us. You have taken a position of a belief which is based on nothing. It hasn't got any basis, not even science.
Neither does religion.
Forget religion. Because
That's
no.
My answer to everything was always religion. Religion
Please. Forget religion.
But you didn't answer anything.
Forget religion.
That's the answer.
Forget religion. If you have several options, you can forget this option, that option, this option. You have your option that you've taken, which you think, in your best understanding, is correct. It's the truth. What is the evidence base for your position? It seems to be a reaction to religion. Oh, I don't like people eating chicken, burgers. There are lots of vegans out there, right? I don't like, and you said, look, I like plants only. I cannot eat a lamb. It's a baby animal. How do you then eat a baby plant? A very cute baby plant. Look how it grows.
That's a completely different...
Do you understand that, right? If it's an emotional response, you might as well believe in, anything. You might believe you are God yourself. So when you say, look, I've taken a position which is intellectually sound, what is your intellectual reasoning? The sound intellectual reasoning. This is what you should be discussing and sharing with us so that we can say, yeah, this is what we should all have. What is your intellectual basis and reasoning to achieve this position?
The basis was the fact that there is no basis. It's like saying, why don't we believe in bloody Loch Ness Monster? There is nothing to believe there. There is no evidence. Nothing can sustain that belief.
But here's the difference.
It's not a reaction to anything.
But here's the difference, though. Here is the difference, though.
Believe something is without proof,
That's a different thing. In Islam, belief has to be based on solid foundation. Okay? Yeah. So when you say there is no evidence, I see evidence all around me. Okay, look about yourself, right? Okay, fine. So let's take two agents. One agent is nothing, no consciousness, no will, no power, no energy, no thought processes, nothing, no neural networks.
Yeah.
Another agent who is conscious, who is living, who has a will, who has a power to bring about change.
Yeah.
To bring a machinery like yourself, let's say when you have a cut,
Yeah.
what happens during the cut?
That bleed or
You bleed, but you don't bleed constantly.
Yeah.
A mesh forms.
Yeah.
Fibrinogen, fibrins, and all these other chemicals comes,
Yeah.
and they stops bleeding like a meshwork, like this kind of mesh. Can you see this thing? Yeah?
Yeah.
It forms a mesh like this, so that this hole that's been created within the blood vessels is repaired. Now, I have an agent called nothing, and I have an agent which is conscious. I can understand a conscious agent putting a design exactly to form a meshwork to stop bleeding. But an agent who is nothing,
There's nothing like nothing. No,
an agent,
no, don't mention.
for the sake of argument,
Like nothing.
thank you, for the sake of argument, right? Something that doesn't exist, with no intelligence, no consciousness, no will, nothing to even to do any change, how does it program something like this? Would you like to kindly share
through like evolution and stuff though.
what evolution?
You know how back in the day, if you had a car sign, you pray to God and you just leave it.
What evolution? What are you talking about?
How
What
body
evolution?
adapts and stuff.
No, what adaptation? There is nothing, right? You're talking about a system. We're talking about. You've come to the wrong discussion, my friend.
Name or you say you don't know.
You've come to the wrong discussion.
No, there's no nothing.
Yeah.
What are you on about?
There's something, right?
Or you say no.
Is there something?
There's no nothing.
Is there something?
There's no nothing. There's a name or you say you don't know.
Okay, nice talking to you. Let's continue, my friends. Right? So when you say evolution, look,
You cannot build the building. Somebody
evolution is a god of the gaps of atheists and agnostics. Did you hear what I said?
he doesn't know.
Okay. So we have to ask him to kindly go into a different discussion, right? That's okay. Okay. We'll ignore him then. Evolution is the god of the gaps of agnostics and atheists. That's the god of the gaps. How did all this come? Evolution. How did all this come? God. What's the difference? It's the god of the gaps. So I would like to now ask you evidence of how a mechanism-based entity like yourself can come from absolutely no conscious design. It just is. Where is the evidence for a non-conscious entity making all of this sophisticated design in our body?
You're talking about consciousness and consciousness, so that has to be like when you talk about nothing, what are you talking about?
Nothing has no consciousness.
But what does that mean?
I'm giving you an agent which doesn't even exist, who has no consciousness, no will.
Lack of God.
Look, either
God and lack of
look,
God.
there's two options. This universe has been created by a God, which we call the creator, or it's not. So question is simple. Either the creator exists or creator doesn't exist.
Yeah.
There's only two options. So that's the two options. In one hand, God, the creator, who's made all of these programs, and the one who is nothing, no God.
Okay, yeah.
So I would like your position to be now explained so that we learn
But instead of
and see this is
so
actually
your answer
reality.
is just that God has made us like this. And so
No, I'm not answering any of that. I'm saying the alternative is already the default position. God exists. You've come up with another alternative. There is no God. There is nothing. So from your perspective, give the mechanism from this no consciousness,
Islam
no
says
creator,
there's no God.
no creator,
Islam says there's
making
no God. There's no
a
Allah
system like that.
It's called natural selection.
It says there's no God.
Go ahead.
natural
Oh
selection.
yeah.
What is natural selection?
When
What is nature? Does nature have a brain?
nah,
So,
system.
hang on. So a system doesn't have a brain. Does the system know it exists?
no,
So can it do anything?
no, but it's like it's just forces. We say like
Did you understand what I just said?
Yeah.
If a system doesn't even know,
It's
doesn't
like I
even.
can program a computer system.
Wait a moment. If a system is not self-aware of its own existence, if you have a system called nature, if you have a system called, look, you don't like it, this is how we bash the agnostics to come to reality.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if you're a Muslim, so you've gone back, you haven't really seriously thought about it. If you really seriously understood Islam, you would never leave Islam, right? So you have a system which is not self-aware of its own existence. Can it do anything? Yes.
No.
Can it make any changes? How?
But you're talking about it in a sense that it either has to be conscious of itself to be able to do it.
No, I'm saying you have a system which is not even self-aware of its own existence.
End of that.
Is it too much? Is it too much?
They're telling me to go. I want to stay.
Okay. My brother, think more about Islam and inshallah you will see how it makes sense. No, I wasn't talking about natural selection. I was talking about God.
You don't want to talk about natural selection. I'm happy to talk about that.
Natural selection, does it have a brain? Can it do anything?
Yes.
How?
Because by random mutations.
No, how does a thing that doesn't know that it exists do anything? Can you explain that first?
How does that transmit voice to you? How does that transmit sound?
Because we programmed it. So we have, I'll tell you in a second. Human beings with a brain program this to operate in a certain way. What programmed nature to operate in a certain way?
The process of natural selection is
You're again doing a tautological cycle.
not even finished.